Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for coming. My name's Kara Cruz, and I'm one of the Public Information Officers for the Department of Public Safety, along with my colleague, Emily Bourne, who is also here today. 1 year ago tomorrow, in fact, the doors to the Downtown Public Safety Center opened officially to the public. And the idea for the DPSC, as we now call it, was conceived of after a couple of post-pandemic years where downtown began to experience some new and unique challenges that were having an impact on quality of life downtown, as it happened in many American cities. The mayor's office, Pittsburgh Police, downtown businesses, and our PNC partners knew that there had to be a better way to deal with this new reality in Pittsburgh. So the vision for this building was designed to be much more than a police station. It was to be a highly visible, welcoming, and accessible hub where officers could report directly each day and truly get to know the people and businesses in the Golden Triangle by foot, by bicycle, and in their patrol cars. Before this, of course, there was a small substation located at Market Street and Liberty Avenue where officers could rest and rate reports. It was not particularly visibly welcoming to the public or even to the officers themselves, and it was not staffed in nearly the same fashion. It was staffed by Zone 2 officers who had to split their time for the entire zone, which includes the Hill District, the Strip District, Polish Hill, Lawrenceville, Uptown. That is a large footprint, with each area having very different needs than downtown. So this took officers away from establishing any real connections with the people who live and work in this area. So now the men and women who work in this building are highly connected to everything that's going on right downtown. And I can truly say what a difference a year makes. I'm joined today by the Honorable Mayor of Pittsburgh, Ed Gainey, Acting Police Chief Chris Ragland, Public Safety Director Lee Schmidt, Zone 2 Commander Tim Novosel, Assistant Director of Public Safety Camila Alarcon from the Office of Community Health and Safety, as well as supervisors and officers working here at the DPSC. And we're also joined by many downtown stakeholders, businesses, people from stores, who are all here to support what this vision was and talk a bit about how it has affected them. I'd like to hand things over now to Acting Chief Chris Ragland to talk about some of the big changes and the achievements and some of the ongoing challenges.
Thank you, Kara. Good afternoon, everybody. First, I want to thank everyone who's here today and who has played a part in making the DPSC what we hoped it would be. I want to thank Mayor Gainey. About a year and a half ago, he kind of came to me and said, we need a plan for downtown. Can you put something together? And we did. Commander Novosel, who heads the DPSC, him and I, we challenged the supervisors and officers who will be working here to really make it their own and make a mark. And despite yesterday's events, I think they proved that, right? Our officers were able to respond, run towards a gunshot, give life-saving measures, and take the actor into custody, all within a matter of seconds. While I do have some metrics to help tell the story, much of what has been created here cannot be quantified. Those are partnerships and relationships that have been built between the people who live, work, and play downtown. Downtown is like any city, is where its visitors come and where they often only visit. For that reason, we knew we had to strengthen the image of the downtown core. And I have a couple stats, some numbers. In 2024, our Downtown Public Safety Center officers made 827 arrests, issued 838 non-traffic citations, responded to over 705 incidents, and 452 overdoses. Far more important than those statistics is pointing out in 2024, the call volume for the entirety of Zone 2 was higher than any other city in the city, with 50% of those calls coming into the downtown footprint. Last year, the DPS's jurisdiction, there were 64% of the calls were citizen-initiated, and 36% of the calls were officer-initiated. Over the past 3 years, the most common call types downtown have been welfare checks, parking complaints, and disorderly persons, all of which have an impact on the quality of life for everyone living and visiting the area. All of this further underscores the importance of having a full-time, dedicated patrol presence in the city's core. Another aspect of the DPSC initiative that I'd like to highlight is that it's the second zone in the city where we expanded the use of our co-response team of social workers with police. For more on that, I'd like to bring up Assistant Director Camila Alarcon from the Office of Community Health and Safety to talk about the co-response and how it's been working downtown.
Thank you, Acting Chief Ragland. Our collaboration with the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police is critical to serving Pittsburgh residents. Our partnership between officers, social workers, outreach workers, case managers, and other first responders allow us to reimagine the way we provide safety and quality of life for our most vulnerable neighbors. Since the downtown station opened, we had the co-response program within this station. You can see social workers and specialized co-responder officers in this station while they're helping others as well as walking around downtown. Since we've opened, we've had 2 social workers and 1 co-response officer. We know that the downtown is the hub for our city. OCHS, all of our programs in 2024 have had over 9,000 service encounters. Service encounters are at the heart of our work. They differentiate from other types of engagement. We de-escalate crisis, we provide services and connection to resources, and we link people together as well as offering day-to-day supports. Co-response alone has had over 1,000 encounters in the downtown area for 2020-24. A lot of the businesses here have seen co-respond, work with co-respond, and provide really life-saving quality of life work for all of our most vulnerable residents. Additionally, we have added the law enforcement assisted diversion case managers. These are case managers that are located in this station that assist police in arrest diversions and receive social contact referrals. This is an intense case management system that it's internationally recognized that provides people who are engaging chronically with the criminal legal system another option, connection to services in lieu of criminalization. These are low-level, nonviolent offenders. I would like to share one example that shows how this work looks like for downtown. For 3 years, we had an individual in downtown that was creating a lot of chaos in the business districts, but as well with the community. This individual had untreated mental illness as well as co-occurring substance use. Thanks to the project with the Pittsburgh Police, the downtown court, the assistant district attorneys, and the public defenders, we were able to really divert this individual into our program. Today, we have secured housing with him. We have secured ways for him to treat his mental illness. And now, for the first time in 3 years, he's being seen by a psychiatrist. This individual was receiving 18 citations a day by the downtown police. Since September and since being in our program, there are 0 citations, 0 arrests. This just showcases how much we invest in human beings that have been stigmatized and excluded from our systems. And instead of criminalization, we want to provide support and services. The Reaching Out on the Streets program is our, otherwise known as Roots, is our homeless outreach program at the Office of Community Health and Safety. This team has a specific group of outreach workers who work in the downtown area. They work closely with police, and we have been able to do case conferencing to really determine the best care, but to get back folks into services and become part of their communities. We strive that all of our programs help individuals meet basic, immediate, and empower them to reach their goals. It is my pleasure to introduce the Director of Public Safety, Director Schmidt, whose leadership, guidance, and support has been indispensable not only for the growth of our office, but our work in downtown. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First, I would like to thank everyone who's been involved in the downtown projects and the downtown improvements. We've done a lot of work, and I want to thank everyone here and out in the streets that have made downtown safer and that are out there every day helping folks to improve their lives. We still have a lot of work to do, and we're not going to stop until everyone that lives, works, or plays in downtown and across the city is safe and feels safe. This work all happens when we work together, and this station is a proof of that. The improvements that have happened over the past 2.5 years are proof of this as well. Police can't do it alone. Public safety can't do it alone. The city can't do it alone. We need partners. We need partners like REACH, AIM, PNC, PDP, Block by Block, DNA, all the businesses in the neighborhood, and the general public. If you see something, say something. If you see something that makes you uncomfortable, call 911. We have responders from police to overdose to social workers to everyone to handle all of these issues. The police might show up first, but that doesn't mean they're going to arrest someone. That means they're going to refer them to one of the agencies we work with and that we support. Not everyone needs to go to jail. People need help. People need services. Like Director Alarcon mentioned, we have case studies that prove it works if we all work together. We have more resources in downtown than we ever have, and they are all working together, which is a huge difference from prior years. We work on a weekly basis with the county, the Port Authority, DHS with our OCHS and Roots teams, the Downtown Court Project, thanks to the courts, the DA's office, the Public Defender's office. We also have engagements now with PPS and all the other schools, the charter schools in downtown. We all need to continue collaborating and working together and breaking down those silos to make sure we make downtown and the entire city welcoming, safe, and thriving for everyone. Again, I want to thank everyone that is working tirelessly to improve our city and to improve downtown every day. I appreciate everything you do. I know oftentimes our officers and our responders are not heard, but we see you, we appreciate all your work, and we know you're working hard every day to make downtown better. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Mayor Ed Gainey.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Appreciate you being here at the Pittsburgh Downtown Public Safety Center. This building is more than just a physical space. It's a testament to our commitment in making Pittsburgh's downtown safer, a more welcoming place for everyone who works, lives, and visits. And what a pleasure it has been to watch restaurants be packed on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The Arts and Cultural District have their crowds back to where it used to be. It's an amazing feeling from where we were, where we are today, to where we were 2 years ago. But before I continue, I want to acknowledge an incident that took place earlier yesterday on 5th and Smithfield. I want to thank our officers again. I want to thank Commander Novosel and Chief Ragland and the rest of the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police for their rapid response, paying great attention to the victim, ensuring the safety of others. It's this type of response that makes us a city for everybody. It's this type of response that talks about the importance of public safety and how we work together. And I want to make sure I recognize them today, because a lot of times we don't. And I want them to understand how much I appreciate them, along with my REACH team and my AIM team and the business community down here, and PP in Pittsburgh, and Jeremy, PDP, and DNA with John, and the chambers, and the conference. It takes everybody. I want to make sure I acknowledge all of them. And while this was an unfortunate incident, it also showed you what happens when we all work together, how quickly they made sure that public safety was the top priority. We're hopeful for a full recovery of the individual, and I want to commend again everybody that played a part in making sure that the situation was handled. These things, we don't want them to happen downtown, but when it does, it's how we address it. It's how we continue to work to ensure that we address it in a way, whether it's a person having an OD, that they're getting the help from OCHS that they need, Whether it's a business that may need some help downtown because they're a little bit thinking about what could happen and how we're working together with the ambassadors program, what we're doing with the clean street and how, listen, you know in 2021 when I took over how dirty downtown was. We don't have that no more. Because when we work together, this is what happens. And I'm extremely proud of that. I want to take a moment to thank PNC Bank, City Council members for their dedication and collaboration. Y'all can clap for them. And of course, my Department of Public Safety. Together, we built more than a building. We built a foundation of a safer, more vibrant downtown. Back in 2023, we held a town hall meeting with our residents and our downtown stakeholders to discuss what we were going to do and laid out a plan for this new center. I can stand here today, a year later, and say promise kept. Downtown is changing, and it is changing for the better. It's a transformation that's visible and measurable. When we look at downtown today, compared to just 2 years ago, I don't have to question if we're on the right track. I know we are. That's significant progress. That's the progress that we continue to talk about. A reduction in violence, a reduction in homicides, a reduction in non-fatal shootings. Law enforcement, public safety team downtown, REACH team downtown, AIM downtown, OCHS downtown. We said we will put every resource we have available into the community of downtown to ensure that it will be better. And we have accomplished that. I had the honor of attending the opening of Live Well Housing, a beautiful facility right on Fifth Avenue. Another investment. The amount of affordable housing that we got coming to downtown. $600 million for over 10 years coming to downtown. Don't believe me, do the math, it adds up. It's because we're working together to make this happen. And that's what we got to continue to do. Downtown is our living room. In our living room, we must sure we're doing all that's possible to make sure it's cleaned up. So I want to thank the business, the residents, all the nonprofits that have helped out, and I want to thank everybody in this building. I'm not here to ask if you see the difference. You do your equation based on the math you want to get to. I'm here to say, look at the progress we made. And in that progress, from 2021 to right now, the only way you can't see it is if you choose not to. We will continue to work every single day to make this the greatest city in America, a city for all, a city where everybody feels that at the end of the day, they belong right here. It's not yesterday, it's today. Thank you.
I want to do something a little bit different before we open it up for questions. A lot of the businesses, some business stakeholders, came down here today on their own accord. I know Jeremy Waldrop is here, Mr. John Valentine is here. We have Miss Olivia Davis from Target. If any of you would be willing to or want to speak or say anything about this year in review, please come on up.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Kara. My name is John Valentine. I'm the Executive Director of the Downtown Neighbors Alliance. I'd like to talk about safety, but in a different way. We brought in 39 new retail businesses in 2023 and 2024. We partnered with the mayor on this. And I want to ask you this. If downtown wasn't safe, do you think they would invest the money they would in their businesses? The answer is downtown safe. And if you also go out on a Thursday, on a Wednesday, on a Friday, Saturday, and see how packed, not just the cultural district, but all over, these restaurants are. I talk to restaurants every day. And in 2024, they had their best years ever. Almost all of them, not all of them, but almost all of them. And if you compare January of 2025 to January of 2024, they're on They did better this year. So they're on pace already to top last year, which, by the way, 2024 broke the records of 2023, which would set the records. So it's there for you. And like the mayor said, don't take my word. Go talk to the restaurant owners. And I promised myself I'd be brief, but I got to say one other thing. I went to Velazzi's 2 Wednesdays ago. Couldn't get a seat. I had to wait for a seat. It was packed. So the owner came over, said hello. His name's Julian. I said, Julian, is it like this every week? He said, yes. He said, it's unbelievable. If it wasn't safe, would people be going to these restaurants? It's safe. Just look at 2 years ago and look at today. That's all you have to do. Jog your memory. And you see the difference is night and day. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I have faith in downtown Pittsburgh. My name is Kevin Wilkes. I'm a lifelong Pittsburgher. I was a member of the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police for 16 years. I'm currently now the Vice President and Chief Security Officer for the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. Every year, our venues, our spaces and places, we attract approximately 2 million people downtown each and every year. I'm also responsible for a core team of about 450 volunteers who come into the city each and every day to help support our venues as well as our fellow lovers of the arts in downtown Pittsburgh. In 2022, Assistant Chief Ragland came to my office in the Pittsburgh Cultural Trust. And I'm sure he probably made his way to my office because I've always been, as I said, a lifelong Pittsburgher, and I've always called balls and strikes. And I'm sure Assistant Chief Ragland at that time probably heard some of the concerns that I had about the downtown area, especially having walked the beat once myself in downtown Pittsburgh. Also, as was alluded a little earlier, one of our properties on Liberty Avenue also served as the original spot for the Downtown Public Safety Center. I had some concerns. At that time, Assistant Chief Ragland said, be patient, give me time. I've got the right people, I've got the right resources in Commander Novosel. We're gonna turn things around. I've got to admit, I was a little skeptical at that time. Chief, thank you for making me eat my words. I have faith in downtown Pittsburgh because of everyone in this room today, because of the mayor and his leadership, because of Commander Novosel and his leadership of the downtown police force, as well as Chief Ragland and his leadership. I see our guests returning each and every night to Pittsburgh's cultural district. It's full of electricity. It's exciting. It's full of energy. I see our volunteers coming each and every night into the downtown area. They are excited, as well as our guests and stakeholders, about not only what's been happening now, but what's right around the corner with the transformation of the 8th Street block and the transformation of Market Square. There are so many good things that have happened to bring us back to the point that we're at now, but I truly believe in my heart and my soul that this is just the beginning of more great things to come. So, yeah, I have faith in downtown Pittsburgh. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Waldrop. I'm President and CEO of the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership. Public safety is a team effort, and the city's investment, as you've heard, is making a real difference. We've never seen, and I've been in this city for 13 years now leading the Downtown Partnership, and we've never seen a stronger connection between law enforcement and the people who live, work, and visit downtown Pittsburgh. Officers are more engaged, they're more responsive, and they're working alongside our community to keep our streets safe and our people, most importantly, safe. This comprehensive effort is not just a public safety effort. It requires the work of many, from our social service community, our youth outreach and engagement organizations, to our neighbors in need. This comprehensive approach is a game changer. Thanks to the city's investment, our organization has more than doubled our on-street services. Our men and women who are out there providing supplemental sanitation, our outreach ambassadors, these too are a part of that equation. These extra eyes are supporting law enforcement. They're establishing relationships with our neighbors, and they are getting people help and services they need to live a more productive life. We're not just saying this, we're seeing progress in measurable ways about how people feel safe in downtown Pittsburgh. In December of 2024, our organization released our annual Downtown Satisfaction Sentiment Survey, and it's showing a big shift in the right direction. 61% of our respondents said they always feel safe or feel safe most of the time when in downtown Pittsburgh. That is a 20% increase from where that number stood in 2022. At the same time, the number of folks who often feel unsafe dropped significantly. We know that there's still a lot of work to be done, but the trend is clear. Safety has improved. Downtown is safer today than it's been in recent future, and public safety is not just a one and done effort. There will always be challenges, but by continuing to invest and work together, you don't hear me here today demanding more resources. Those resources are here, and we're committed to making sure that everyone in our community is safe. Thank you.
I did promise a lovely young woman from Target, but she had to leave, manage the busy store that she has. In any case, I can open up to questions now. If anybody has any. Justin.
You talked about, the mayor talked about doing the math. How do the 2024 numbers compare against the 2023 numbers? All we're seeing is the number of calls and incidents for this year.
Does someone from our crime statistics, crime analysis unit want to address that?
I can speak to that a little.
Yeah. Want to come to the,
in terms of,
do you want to come up to the mic, please? This is Dr. Heath Johnson from the Crime Analysis Unit with Pittsburgh Bureau of Police.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks for having us here. I'm trying to get my stuff. I'm a little on the spot here, but we've seen improvements. Call volume has remained steady downtown, whereas so have our response times. Let me see. Pull up some more stats here. Nope, I don't have it in front of me. What I can say, though, is that we have transitioned to a new records management system that has made comparisons to previous years in terms of incidents just a little more difficult. The new system is looking at each and every offense. This is a federally mandated switch to the new NIBRS coding system. The switch from UCR has been a long time coming. What that does, though, is it changes it from how we count our incidents in terms of at the incident level to then every offense. Those make it look like a slight increase in crime across many numbers. What I will say is the major metrics we look at, such as violent crime, are well below where they were even 2-3 years ago. During the pandemic in 2020, 2021, we saw some of the real spikes, concerning spikes in violent crime across the city and including downtown. This has been a real sea change in terms of the amount of violent crime that's been witnessed downtown and that our officers address. I think I'll leave it there. I can follow up with some good numbers. Particularly, I think the call volume numbers are really interesting. I will say that the number of proactive police moves, neighborhood patrols, park and walks, and the like, have just increased year over year. Anyone who's downtown will say and can see the officers out here putting pavement under their feet every single day. The quality of life issues that they're addressing every day have decreased. Welfare checks are now the number one call type that officers are responding to. That's a quality of life issue. That is not the type of issues that a concerning downtown might be dealing with. It's the type of issues that you'd like to see being diverted towards the many resources mentioned here today. OCHS is a great resource in having social work play a role downtown that's been much needed and much appreciated.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I don't know who can address this. I don't know if it's Chris or the mayor or Lee. But you can throw all the stats out there you want about this, but then people see the shooting in broad daylight yesterday. They see a shooting back in January 5th on Penn Avenue. I mean, and then they say, well, it's not safe in Pittsburgh. How do you combat that, or how do you fight that perception in this? Because you can throw the stats out there and say, oh, crime's down, and they turn on the TV and see yesterday, there's a shooting in broad daylight in Pittsburgh. It's not safe. There's a shooting January 5th.
Wow.
Late at night, I think, but it's not safe. How do you deal with that?
What I would say is downtown is safe. We have put together this downtown public safety center with PNC. We have built partnerships with all of the businesses, with the people who live here, who play here. And what I'll tell you is that, like, some of those incidents, it's very difficult for you to prevent that. What we did do is we were able to save a man's life and take a man into custody within seconds. And that's all because of the presence that we have down here.
I think that's a good answer. But I think also, we can question it from multiple different positions. Like you said, we can throw away the numbers. Let's talk about another number that really helps create a safe city. How many positive stories have you reported, Rick? How many times have you got out there and talked about the great things that's going on downtown and the nightlife that has come back and really demonstrated our city in a way that shows its beauty and not the ugly? How many stories have you created, Rick, about downtown and the fact that more people are coming back downtown and they're feeling safe downtown without the power of the media? What perception are you discussing?
We've done our share.
So I didn't ask you, I said you.
We've done our
So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is when we talk about perception, the perception is also that we also talk about the beauty of our city. Watch this. How many love the beauty of our city? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Clap if you love the beauty of our city. Clap. Rick can't hear you, trust me. Clap some more. How many think the police are doing a good job? Clap. How many think our reach team is doing a good job? Clap. How many think we better today than we were in 2021? Clap. So we can throw all the numbers out that Rick talked about and said, listen, people may not see, but the reality is part of perception comes from you. And at the end of the day, if the perception is only on the negative, then that's what you promote. If we're going to promote the beauty of our city, the loveliness of the people of this city, how people come together to improve the overall quality, then at the end of the day, show me some positivity.
That's all we want. Fair and balanced news in real time. Honesty about what's happening downtown. Not these falsehoods and exaggerations that come out in the media on a daily basis. Hello, my name is Ayo Deji Young. I'm the director of the Jordan Miles Youth Engagement Center, which opened downtown in collaboration with the city of Pittsburgh to help move some of our youth that's downtown after school and give them a safe place to be. So I'm in downtown Pittsburgh every single day. And in my opinion, it does get slanted in a negative perspective when we talk about downtown Pittsburgh. I have never seen, you say we've done our fair share, but me personally and others, we don't see it being fair on the news on a daily basis. It's attack, 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 and framed downtown into something that it's not. We've all traveled and been to major cities before across America. Have you seen downtown in Atlanta, downtown in Cleveland, downtown in Philadelphia? If you compare, I guarantee if you reach out and compare any of those numbers to Pittsburgh, will come out better than some of those other places. To me, this issue with downtown Pittsburgh is more or less outsiders looking at the city of Pittsburgh and going off of what you guys report versus coming into downtown Pittsburgh, visiting and seeing things themselves. If all of those restaurants weren't packed and were empty, then that would be a huge story. You guys would report on it every day, every week. But since the pandemic and the money is coming back downtown and people are coming downtown, we don't get those reports. It is not fair, and it's clear that we have an agenda that we're trying to push and a narrative that you guys are trying to push about downtown Pittsburgh, but we won't let that work because you're talking about our jobs and the hard work that we do on a daily basis and making downtown safe. So from this day forth, you're going to hear kickback and fighting back to these accusations about downtown Pittsburgh and the overall a job that our police officers are doing, our mayor's doing, and his entire staff is doing. We're done with the false narratives. We'll be speaking up and fighting back because this has gotten out of hand.
So you're suggesting the shooting didn't happen?
No, the shooting absolutely, yes, the shooting absolutely happened, but talk about the response to the shooting. Do you want our police officers to stop and frisk? Do you want them to stop and frisk and just jump out on people randomly? Do you have a gun on you? Are you violent? Are you about to do a crime? We can't predict crimes. We can only react when they happen and have preventative measures in place to stop it. And we did that yesterday, but accidents and tragedies will happen in major cities from time to time. The response is what we need to focus on. The preventative measures that were put in place to make sure there isn't a shooting every day downtown is what we need to talk about. You can emphasize this one shooting and the shooting that happened late night all you want, but that tragedy will not erase the good work that is being done downtown. You can't overspeak that. You can't.
Thank you so much. I just want to mention, just last week, our downtown public safety center supervisors got a call from one of the restaurants in Market Square, someone who they thought had a gun with them. Indeed, it was a juvenile with a gun, and we're able to apprehend him on a bus. And that's the kind of thing of people, the cooperation that the director talked about, people saying something and seeing something and saying something. So I just wanted to mention that story today, because that kind of work, as he said, goes on every single day. Anyone else?
We're on the crux of the NFL draft. What are the safety measures in place for people who will be out to enjoy NFL draft?
So those plans for the NFL draft are ongoing. We started meetings maybe about a month ago, and I think that will kind of ramp up. And so that's kind of where that is. There's not a lot of detail just yet. We'll be probably sending people up to Green Bay to kind of take a look at their plan, and then come back and work with all of our partners in the room here to develop a comprehensive plan.
One of the things going to council right now is to have more meetings on the nomination process of yourself. Chief, what's your thoughts on that? Out there?
I love meetings. I love meetings. Anytime I can get a chance to get in front of the citizens and tell them who I am and what I believe in means something, right? And so I think I just welcome the opportunity to do that, and we'll go forward.
Mayor, do you think 6 public hearings are too many, or?
I'm sorry, Rick.
Do you think 6 public hearings are too many, 6 community?
Here's what I think. Here's what I think. I think whatever agenda that they have, a couple people on council have in regards to who they feel should be chief, is on them. Raglan, you want this job?
I do.
He wants this job. Did you do the downtown plan?
I did.
Did you help out on the north side when it needed help?
Absolutely.
I can't tell you, and I can't answer that. You want me to speak before somebody else, Rick, and I'm not going to get into that, man. That's a question that I'm sure you have the ability to ask counsel about, and I think you know that. I think you're asking me because you want a response out of me so you can get a response out of me, and again, it feeds this negative narrative that you enjoy. What I'm saying to you is that they have their ability to want to do what they want to do. I've made clear who I'm with and why I'm standing with them. I made that. You asking me, is 6 too many? You know what I mean? It could be, can I finish? Can I finish? Whether it's 6, 10, 12, it's not going to change my opinion on who it should be. I think he's earned it. Now, if he don't want it, it's different. But I think he's earned it. I think he's done an incredible job downtown. Look at downtown, look at the north side, look at the south side. So I think he's earned it. I'm not, if you want to get into why they want to do this or why they want to do this and the reason, you got to ask them, Rick. I'm not going to speak for them, but if they want to speak to me, how to reach me. They haven't reached out to me. So at the end of the day, I am comfortable. And I'm not going to get into a negative back and forth to satisfy media persuasion. What I'm going to tell you is that he has the qualification and he also has the record of why he's done a fine job for the city of Pittsburgh. And for that, Rick, you should say thank you. Say thank you, Rick. Say thank you, Rick. Can you say thank you?
Oh, thank you, sir.
No, say thank you to Chief Raglan. Say thank you to him.
Hey, what's up, Chris? Thank you.
No, say Chief Raglan. Say thank you, Chief Raglan. Say it to him. That's what I thought. Thank you.